We're out here at the world-famous Circuit of Americas in Austin, Texas for the Optima High Performance Expo. There's a lot going on out here for fans and participants at this 3-day event, but the main thing we're here to see is the Ultimate Street Car Challenge and the World Championship Autocross. Both of these competitions have a winner-take-all $25,000 cash prize. We're not covering the play-by-play, but we are going to give you a closer look at some of the cars that caught our eye. So let's go check out some of the cars here at the Optima Batteries High Performance Expo. We're here with Robert Thorne with his S2000. This is a really cool car. It actually has a rocket. You want to explain what a rocket is?
Sure, yeah. So for anti-lag reasons, the car runs an external combustor anti-lag system, basically. And uses forced air from the charge piping to force it into the exhaust manifold, and in there's a combustor that can hold a flame. So the turbo can run closed loop without the motor, which makes for some interesting characteristics, but in the end, no lag.
So your engine's making boost like all the time, and it's boost on demand, right?
Yeah, the motor can produce peak torque from 3,000 RPM to 9,000 RPM with no lag and no transient delay.
So what do you have it set at mostly? Like how many pounds do you have on tap instantly?
I run relatively low boost. It's a big turbo. Everything's very efficient, large piping. I run between 20 and 24 pounds of boost. And with that, I can make about 670 horsepower.
That's pretty crazy. And you have all that power with a stock bottom end, I understand, right?
That's right. The magic seems to be running E100. Car runs straight ethanol, and I've always just kept a close eye on temps and really keeping the block cool, keeping the water and oil temps way down in the low 180s. Holds it together pretty well.
And you just don't do autocross too. You do time attack and events like Grid Life, right?
Yeah, the car has kind of competed all over, and hence I have a number of different setups and different turbos for the car. We've won time attack events on big courses like Road Atlanta, and we've had it on bigger courses like Road America, and done. The car can do endless time laps. It doesn't have any thermal runaway issues, so we have trans coolers, diff coolers, and a supplemental oil cooler we put on for big tracks. The car can do just about anything, maybe not off-road.
That's amazing that it does it all with a stock bottom end. You want to tell me a little bit about your car? Like what's in the motor besides the stock bottom end?
Yeah, so I have two of these motors. They're both basically exactly the same with Inconel exhaust valves and some upgraded valve springs and retainers. Everything basically from throttle body in, other than that, is completely stock, and it's all about that boost and getting it there efficiently. The car can, obviously make a lot of power, but getting it to the ground then has been even more of a challenge.
So in case nobody heard, exactly how much power do you make again?
So with the autocross turbo, it makes 670, and with the track turbo, it makes 740.
740 reliable horsepower with a stock bottom end. That's pretty wild. What kind of suspension do you have?
The car runs Penske shocks with hypercoil springs and hydraulic perches. After that, it's a couple tweaks for roll center and bump steer, and sphericals from ESM from back in the day.
What about brakes?
Brakes, it runs a StopTech big brake kit front and rear. They're not the trophy kit brakes. They're just the regular old big heavy package, I call it. But 355 millimeter front rotor and some big 3-inch brake ducts, and I don't have any issues at all.
How about your transmission and diff and stuff? I think you have a pretty trick tranny. It sounds like it.
Yeah, the driveline was a big challenge to keep the power, keep everything together over the years. So it has a Quaife 69G sequential and an OS Geiken big twin disc clutch. We launched the car 300-400 times probably a year as hard as we can. The car's about a mid 10-second car on a drag strip. Any quicker than that, and we will start breaking driveline parts. It's a stock differential housing, with some beefed up hardware, some custom caps I made for the bearings, and a solid sleeve for the pinion, along with an OS Geiken LSD.
So that solves the S2K glass diff issues, huh?
It's pretty reliable. Obviously, the other trick is redline fluids. I run all redline fluids and lightweight shockproof in the gearbox and heavyweight shockproof in the diff, and that seems to help.
Your aerodynamics are pretty trick too. You want to explain some of those?
Sure. Zebulon MSC is responsible for all the aero on the car. Some of it is a little kind of homegrown, done in the garage, but all the elements and all the CFD work is done by Zebulon. There's a 16-inch cord rear wing, single element, and some smaller dive planes and a 6-inch splitter, and we have quite a bit of diffusers, and there's a lot of room for air to exit the wheel wells. That all took quite a bit of tweaking to get to work correctly, but it makes some pretty solid downforce. The car is quick once it gets above 70, 80 miles an hour.
That's pretty unusual to see analytical tools like CFD on the grassroots effort, right?
When I got into motorsports, as far as outside of racing and as far as wrenching on the car myself, I got involved with a really professional shop called 3R Racing, and they helped me basically with developing everything and taught me the correct tools to use to make sure I built the car correctly. So a lot of credit to them, but that's kind of where everything started, with trying to take each part seriously.
It's truly an amazing car. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
No, I mean the my pride and joy of the car is its history and the amount of wins and everything it has. We've run autocross for 10 years, and the car has 8 national championships between 4 different drivers. We also hold about 4 track records around the country still, and it hasn't even been on track probably in 2 years now. So we've also did One Lap of America in the car, where we took this car and we drove it for about 4,000 miles straight with just the tires that are on it, and went to 8 different racetracks and completed 6 laps at each racetrack, and finished with just the parts that were on the car when we started. So that's something a lot of time attack cars probably can't do.
That's right. I mean, it's truly amazing. In my opinion, this is one of the sickest S2Ks we've ever looked at, and thank you for letting us take such a good look inside it.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I've always wanted to come on the show.
So if you like this video, we're going to do a detailed article on the car. We're going to have a lot of details of the anti-lag system. So go to MotoIQ.com, check it out, and we're going to go look at some more cars. I have to pee, so I have to go.